Hello, and welcome back to Speed Gaming Live on Speed Gaming 2. We have another double anti-bingo race here with me to help commentate. This is Maniacal. How you doing, Maniacal?
Hey, Tracy. I'm doing great. I'm excited about this race. We've got on the left here Kipp's Couch versus on the right some fraction of Apathy Duck's head. But this should be a good matchup. I'm just starting to look at the card, which isn't loaded yet, but it's a tough card.
Yeah, I've gotten to look at it just a little bit, and I'm gonna see what we have on there in just a second as the runners are about to start. This is going to be an interesting one. We have Kipp on our left, who won in the double anti-bingo tournament last year, and I also think he won the double anti-bingo tournament that actually happened at SG Live last year. apathyduck, new to bingo. This is literally his second actual race, not counting the one qualifier they did. So this will only be the second time he'll be choosing a row column or diagonal for an opponent. So it should be interesting to see what comes out.
Yeah. So, how do you go about parsing these bingo cards when you get them?
I try to look for, it depends on my opponent, but I like to look for things with a lot of collection, especially if you get one of those high missile counts. I also look for things that don't mesh well with other things. So, anytime you can make a runner skip an item that maybe shows up in another location, a finish tile is often good. Something that makes him, anything that makes him do lower Norfolk, having that come up is also pretty good.
Yeah, so I definitely like those things. Looking at overall path length to get something together, which rows, which columns don't pair well together, and which goals are also mutually exclusive. So, for instance, we have finish in a Shine Spark or Crystal Flash, and then there's a skip speed booster, which would mean that you'd need to get enough power bomb packs to then finish in a Crystal Flash in row 4.
Yeah, which would also mean you'd have to damage yourself down in said location. But yeah, the question came up, what is anti-bingo? So let's explain what double anti-bingo is. So at the start of the race, each runner is going to pick a row, column, or diagonal and force it on their opponent. And then they have to pick one other row, column, or diagonal to do for themselves. And as we can see, we got the arrows there. apathyduck will have to do row 4, and Kipp will have to do row 5.
Yes, so those are rows that were assigned by the opponent. So Kipp was given row 5 by apathyduck,
Yep.
and that's what he will have to accomplish. And apathyduck was given row 4 by Kipp. So it's interesting they chose different things. So let's start with row 4, because I was kind of talking about that one earlier. That's what Kipp has chosen for Duck. And so skipping Speed Booster and 7+ E-Tanks and 35+ Supers and fully exploring Wreck Ship is a pretty big ask.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
that's a big ask.
It's very, very malleable. It doesn't really impose that much that the runners have to do. And so there's a lot of customizability in how you approach row 4.
And you've got the big collections, the 35 super missiles. The fact that he is going to fully explore the wreck ship means he's going to get himself a gravity suit, which is kind of what you need when you get above 35 supers. Now you're talking, you probably want to get the Meridia ones, because you probably don't want to go down and get the one GT one in Norfair. So as soon as you limit that, you're pretty much forced into Meridia. So he's going to get that gravity suit.
Yeah, looking at row 5, I'm seeing that you can go kill Dragon, get your space jump. You'll have gravity, so you'll have to kill Fantoon, and then you're going to end up down in Metal Pirate Room. So you're probably going to want to get Charge Beam over Wave Beam, usually when you're given that choice square. You usually will elect Charge Beam, especially because he does have some boss fights, namely Dragon is guaranteed in this one, where you do need a good bit of ammo because of the 60 or 6,000 health that Dragon has.
Yeah, that space jump essentially means killing Dragon, because picking up space jump is not a bad thing at all. But having to kill Dragon, yeah. But then having a row that not only forces you to go all the way to Dragon, but then also forces you to go all the way down to Lower Norfair. So Kipp isn't
Yeah.
going to have to collect a whole lot, depending on what his chosen row column diagonal is. He is going to have to go kind of all over the map here.
Yeah, it provides a pretty clean route though. You're gonna rush Gravity Suit.
Yep.
You're going to go and then get your space jump, kill Dragon, and then you're going to go get X-Ray and go right down to Lower Norfair. And so the nice thing about that is that you can kind of look for things that pair well with that. Things that I'm seeing that are sort of clean. Row 1 pairs fairly well with row 5, just at a quick glance, just because Criteria Map Station's pretty easy. Meridia Map's not that far out of the way. Wreck Ship E-Tank is sort of a quick in and out, and you're going to be getting a decent amount of ammo because your route doesn't include a lot of beams, and you got to kill Dragon.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do the defeat Golden Teresa. Let's see what else we have.
Yeah. There's Defeat Dragon, which is always good.
Yeah, I kind of, for Kipp, I kind of like column 3.
Column 3 is also really nice.
Because it's got the defeat Dragon.
One.
You're already doing that. Meridian Map Station is pretty easy. He's gonna collect Gravity Suit. He's gonna do a new route. He's gonna collect that Gravity Suit, and finishing in a crystal in a Shine Spark in the Metal Pirate Room is really, really easy.
Yeah, collect Gravity and skip Various Suit is only a really bad square if you have something like Wreck Ship Reserve that you can overlap with it, where you need to go get the speed booster.
Yep.
And would have to do that Upper Norfair Hell Run to get there.
Yeah, although he did pick up the Criteria Map Station, and that may not mean he's actually doing anything that involves that particular square. It's just such an easy one to get right away that he might have just chosen to just do it, just for, hey, I'll get it now, and if I don't ever need it, that's okay. It's not a huge time loss.
Yeah, finding things that pair for Duck's row much more difficult. I'm finding, just because it is such a customizable space. 35 supers usually means that you're going to want to go into Meridia and do an early Wreck Ship as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the worst one on there for him, is just the super missiles all over the map. But you do 5 of those super missile packs in Meridia. The one in Lower Norfair that he's definitely going to want to avoid. Several behind Speed Booster that you just can't get without the speed, or behind either Speed Booster or Power Bombs in the Brinstar area. So 35 is a lot for that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back through Brinstar, so just to get Edicoons, because I don't think you're gonna want to go down and get GT supers.
No, definitely not.
So like you're looking at Aqueduct and Crab supers and just a lot of that action, because there's only 50 in the game. So 35 is a pretty rude square. It's kind of low-key rude.
Although, to be honest, if I'm going to be forced that many, I kind of prefer to get forced to supers than the power bombs, because they at least have more use. Like when you get the 35 power bomb square, it's kind of like, okay, so I have 35 power bombs. What am I going to do with them? I mean, at least the 35 supers help you out in other ways.
Yeah, the supers are very good for the boss fights for ammo. We can see our runners. I mean, we haven't really even been talking much about what they're doing. We see them kind of clunkily moving their way through these early rooms. They're both very good runners, but just the extra distraction of trying to parse this bingo card leads to some really funny early game movement.
Yeah, and you sometimes you'll see runners pause for periods of time just to try and figure out what they're going to do next, or even just to check a map to see where the items that they need to get are, because even when you play Hundo, you just know to get the items, you might not actually be paying attention to what items are where.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done so many 100% runs, and you know the strat that you run in the room.
Yep.
But you have sometimes forget where you got the items that let you do those strats. It's actually really funny. But yeah, both runners did take that Criteria Map Station. So we'll see if that ends up being part of their plans, but that is one of those ones that you kind of look at as almost a freebie.
Yep.
Duck did grab the the Brinstar Reserve as well. That's something that I like taking in double anti-bingo if I'm doing early wreck ship just as a safety. But it may also be playing into that 2+ reserve tanks there in row 3, column 2.
That column 2 isn't bad for him. Getting X-ray scope's a bit of a pain, so oh wait, he's gonna go and get a missile station. I believe that's in there. Let me see. I saw the missile stations. There we go. Both Brinstar missile stations. There it is. It's row 3, column 4.
Correct.
And let's see. That pairs with the 7 energy tanks. He would have to get the criteria power bomb. But then he also would have to get 60+ missiles, although that actually surprisingly isn't that hard. Just so many missiles throughout the game. And he's already getting 35 supers, so the 20 is already there.
Yeah, I think the real cost there is that it prices you into getting space jump if you're going for column 4.
Yep.
And that's a pretty miserable space. So I would be surprised if it's column 4. I think it's much more likely that he's looking at row 3.
Yeah, it could be.
And also looking at the Brinstar power bombs. Although the Brinstar power bombs, I mean, you're getting all the supers anyway, but it is a lot of fanfares to eat.
It sure is. Yeah, that row 3 though. I mean, 2 reserve tanks isn't too bad. He's gonna get gravity suit without barrier. He'll probably go up here, because he can't even get speed boosters. There's no reason to wait. And he's picking up the 35 super missiles, so the 15 Meridia supers are just right there.
Yeah, and nice thing here from Duck is there's more supers that he could be getting, like Spore Spawn, but it's just going to be faster to grab them later. So he's going to come back through this area. He has to. And so, you know, something like Destroy One Statue is also something that's kind of a freebie, the way he's most likely to route this card.
Yep. Okay, so Kipp is going up, no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, up in double anti-bingo is very, very powerful for most cards. If you can get a row for an opponent that suggests don't go up, usually those are some of the stronger picks that you can have, just because going to wreck ship first is such a strong option in most boards.
Yeah, and you talked about it before. The strongest ones, I feel like, are the ones that force you to do something in the wreck ship with the speed booster.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to go down first to get that speed booster.
Yeah, anything that makes you go down when you get to Red Tower and doesn't allow you to fully skip wrecked ship.
Yep.
But Kipp did hit his CWJ into the wreck ship, and he is in. We'll see apathyduck about to tackle the moat here shortly. Is going to go get those power bombs. So those Brinstar power bombs. This is one of those packs, but we saw Kipp grab this as well.
Remind myself where that square is.
That is the 25 Brinstar power bombs, row 3, column 1.
Okay, there we go.
So I'm leaning toward it looking like Duck is going for row 3, which I don't think is a bad choice with what he's got going on. It does mean he'll need to go into Kraid's Lair just all the way to get the recharge station.
Yep.
But there are worse things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the one downside is when you do 2 rows instead of doing a row and a column is you don't get the overlap square. But sometimes that's okay, you know, if the rest of the row just synergizes with the one you've been assigned well enough.
Clean 2-round Fantoon there from Kipp. And Duck isn't using the door as a setup, so it looks like maybe he wants to main HBJ, or maybe he just wants to get the indoor setup here. Yeah, it looks like that was a good frame, so if he gets out of this fanfare and hits his 1-frame window, he'll be across the moat. Ooh, and he's taking a dip.
Yeah, not unusual. CWJ, one of the trickier things that we do in this game. Typically, it's thought that the CWJ is a little bit easier to get, almost even by accident, but a little bit easier to learn to do, but much harder to be consistent with. So you'll see a lot of runners they'll try it for the CWJ, and if they fail it but they land on the platform, like Duck is about to do this horizontal bomb jump. Unfortunately, misses it.
Horizontal bomb jump is so rough. It's a really weird, sort of unintuitive set of inputs, and there
Yep.
Duck nails that CWJ on the
There we
second
go.
time. That was an indoor setup, and so that is double frame perfect the way that he did it. So well done by Duck.
It's actually one of the things that runners like to use their moonwalk for.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of a lot of the runners, like me personally, I don't have moonwalk on for moonfall, although I use it. I have it on for tricks like that.
Yeah, there's two different X pixels that you can get the CWJ setup from, and so it's pretty easy to move Samus into a position where you can go for that trick. But both runners safely across the moat and indirect ship. Kipp clearing out the attic, and we see he's going just straight for gravity. Duck did get the wrecked ship map station. So I'm looking for where that is. Oh, he's got the fully explore.
So he has to get the map station.
Yeah, fully explore. That was the prescribed one in row 4. So good on Duck, knows what he's doing. Fully explore wreck ship's a sneaky space.
Yeah, and I hope he went and did the early missiles, because that room is nasty. If I wasn't watching to see if he did that. He probably did. I mean, he's so much. He plays so much SMZ3. He's used to going into that room first to look for items. So I can see muscle memory just putting him there no matter what. But yeah, that room is not one you want to go into after you've killed Phantoon, because then those spikes are on. It's kind of Spiky Room of Death Part 2.
Yeah, it's unusual to have strats for that room outside of Max GT, where that's a room that you do with the spikes on.
Oh, and one of our trackers, Link Force, telling us he forgot it. So, oops.
Yeah, probably going to take the save station that he also has to check before he goes to do that.
So. Shoutouts. We have 2 trackers. We have Link Force and Glove doing the tracking. Each one. I believe Glove is doing Kipp's side of things, and Link Force doing Duck's side of things. And Kipp gets his gravity suit, so he's got that middle square.
Yeah. So fully explore wreck ship.
Yeah, and
he's got to get every map tile loaded. So it's pretty tricky. He's got to take a dip in the fish tank, by the wreck ship E tank. There's a lot of weird stuff that you have to do that you don't want to do.
And I did see it mentioned in chat that maybe the diagonal for Kipp. It does mean he'll have to pick up those 35 super missiles. The criteria power bomb is going to be a little bit slow for him, because the only way to path it in nicely is to bomb jump it. But I mean, definitely doable. See, if he starts bomb jumping, he's heading up.
Yeah,
there.
he's going for that. Yeah, this is the diagonal. So this is Kipp showing us what his pick is, and I think that this pairs well. He's got a pretty prescribed path, but this gets him away from a lot of the collection heavy goals other than that 35 supers. But because he's got to do sort of all of Meridia anyway, it's not too bad.
Yeah, he's going to run into a lot of those supers. And, it might be the Duck's doing the same thing. Because for him, the collection square is probably the worst one on there, and he's already got to do that, so. We'll see if Duck also gets that criteria powerbomb.
And so Duck did get his right side and left side supers. He is going to go in here right now with the spikes live. So good luck, Duck.
Okay, he's got it. I just got to get out.
Not yet. Oh, Duck. Oh. Yeah, that is rough. That's why I was thinking we might see that save beforehand.
Yeah, like I said, Spiky Room of Death Part 2. That is a nasty, nasty place to go.
Yeah, so if Kipp is watching, he's gonna see that and maybe let off the gas a little bit, run some safer strats, and just be sure that he's got what he needs, because that is a chunky lead to take there.
Yeah, and that's something I've seen Kipp do a lot of times. He's usually pretty aware of not only who he's racing, but what their situation is to exploit it, and in such a way of, like you say, taking extra safeties.
Yeah, I mean, Kipp and I are of similar philosophy in that regard. All that really matters is the binary result of win or lose. It doesn't matter if it's by a second or by 2.5 minutes.
And, Kipp taking this energy tank, it's going to lose him 7 seconds, but it's kind of hard to dodge anyway, so it's an extra safety that he can now afford. Gets another super pack.
And I think we're going to see Duck basically run back pretty much the same route that he took before. Nice construction zone there, getting the down back. Now it's good to see Duck continuing in this run and just
you never know.
Accepting the loss or the time loss.
You never know what could happen. Kipp's not infallible. He's very good at this, but things happen. So you keep going until you see your opponent finish.
And that is precisely it. So Kipp running around a little bit here. I'm not sure. I don't think complete the Brinstar map is a thing, so I'm not sure what that...
Thank goodness it's not. Maybe he's just trying to figure out what order to do these things in. I mean, because it's... Yeah, so he's going to get the Spore Spawn Super now. Fortunately, there are lots of different places you can jump and shoot that super missile to get that through. He has no trouble doing it, and so we don't actually have to kill Spore Spawn to get this.
Yeah, that's some of that new tech. I think that was from around... I think that was discovered around 2011, that sort of shot. I'm not certain because I wasn't active in Super Metroid at the time.
Yeah, that was long before I was active, but that timeline sounds about right. What's interesting is the strat before that was actually to do a Crystal Flash Force stand-up to get through that area, which is kind of cool that you can do that, but we're really slow, so we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's how I learned 100% back in like 2006, so I know that it wasn't known in 2006, 2007. And then like the next checkpoint I have is like 2016. And I'll tell you, it blew my mind when I found out you could do that. I was like, wait, what just happened? What is this route?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kipp is cleaning up some of his collection here. That 35 supers, requiring him to go and get those Spore Spawn supers.
Yeah,
or not requiring specifically that, but most easily accomplished if he goes and gets that.
And there is this, let's not forget, there's, we already talked about the GT Super, which we know he's not going to go for. There's also a super missile behind the speed booster. That's Duck that has to skip the speed booster, but I don't know that Kipp's going to go out of his way to get the speed booster. Doesn't really need it for this run. Would make Meridian a little bit faster, but I'm not sure it would make it faster enough to be worth going out of your way to go get it.
Now this is interesting by Kipp electing for early X-ray here, and I mean with the environmental damage reduction from Gravity Suit, it's not too bad, but it is a fairly tight strat here. Nice deboost, and he makes it in. That's one that I'm surprised. I would have expected him to come back through with Space Jump just because he's gotta get it anyway. But nicely done by Kipp.
Yeah, I think his thought process there, it's such a backtrack from there, and he already has to go all the way down to the Metal Pirates room. That if I can do the strat with the deboost, I'll just do it. And of course with bombs, you have a backup. So if you do fall down in that last little bit, you can do bomb jumps to get up there. You also notice that he's trying to take hits from the waivers. Now, it's not as big a deal with the vanilla Gravity Suit. Remember, this is the Gravity Suit that does fully protect against environmental damage, not like the randomizer Gravity Suit. But he is still trying to take hits off the waivers because they do a lot less damage than those spikes do.
Yeah, someone like Duck, very, very familiar with the randomizers, and Kipp also, I mean, as developer of at least in part of the randomizer that is being used for the SG Live tournaments. Both sort of are familiar with different versions of gravity that have been hacked into the game, it can be a little jarring to move between them sometimes. But Duck is getting that missile recharge station again.
Yeah, we were speculating that maybe he was also going to do that diagonal, but that the Brinstar missile recharge station is not on that diagonal. So I'm actually still not sure what his actual plan is. Kipp already in Meridia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not clear to me what he's doing in Meridia just yet. I mean, I don't think I guess he does. Did he get enough power bombs? Yeah, he did get beta power bombs. I don't think he's a big crystal flash clip guy though. So
no, he needs.
We'll see what he wants to run.
Yeah, he needs to pick up an ice beam or a speed booster unless he wants to do a crystal flash.
Yeah, he's gonna have difficulty getting through the Batoon hallway to get to Dragon. He does have X-ray, but he's not an X-ray climb fan.
I think, yeah, he's the last person you're ever gonna see X-ray climb. That's for sure.
Yeah, Kipp is sort of a strat purist.
He's very, yeah, his conversation, our conversation with him on X-ray climber are very interesting. He just doesn't like it. So we're not going to see that.
Yeah.
It may just be he might not have thought it through. I can't. Everyone who's ever played a Super Metroid randomizer has tried to go to Batoon without having ice or speed.
Oh yeah.
It's just something that happens. It's a rite of passage. I'm sure it's happened to Kipp as well, but unfortunately, you may be not thinking about it because this isn't randomizer. This is double anti-bingo.
Yeah, we'll see if he gives the crystal flash clip a couple tries. I can confidently say that I have never seen him crystal flash clip anything.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have it in his skill set.
Yeah, we see Asher in chat talking some nonsense. G-mode is a thing. That is a real thing with reserve tanks. And I think we'd see Kipp X-ray climb before we ever see him G-mode. And I can't explain G-mode. It's just one of those very weird, obscure tricks that...
There goes the X-ray. And we're into the Batoon hallway, so we'll see. He doesn't have the power bombs he needs. And we're back out.
Just figured it
out. There's the Kipp camera, if you were watching.
This is where having the live cams is really cool, because you can see the look on his face. He's like, oh, wait, I forgot something. I'll probably just go down and get ice, I think. I mean, I just feel like that'd be a little... I mean, it'd be a little faster to get ice, but speed booster would save you more time, so maybe you go get speed? I mean, you gotta get one or the other.
Yeah, it's sort of a close call. He doesn't have any squares he's looking at that involve skipping ice or speed, and he's not required to get either of those. So it's really just a matter of preference. I expect that Ice Beam will be the thing that we see.
Since Kipp very well versed in low percent categories. So he's perfectly comfortable doing this like an ammo kill here rather than a speed booster kill for Dragon.
And Duck is headed back across the moat, so we get a third moat today. We'll see. Looks like he's going straight for the HBJ, and nicely done first try.
There it is. Yeah, you'll notice he actually lost his spin jump on the jump onto the missiles, and he knew it right away, so he was able to make sure he landed on the platform so he could get the CWJ.
Yeah, he didn't even want the spin jump at that point because he didn't have a good setup from the previous room. Yep. So his run speed wasn't one that necessarily... It would have been hard to read that it would give you the CWJ frame. And so he just didn't even go for it.
An extra bonus for Kipp, since he had to come into Norfair, he figures might as well get those high jump boots, make my life a little bit easier.
Yeah, high jump boots is one of those items that I've skipped it in double anti-bingo and then realized that I shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
It's almost always faster if you have a substantial amount of movement after high jump boots to just go and get the high jump boots. And it looks like Kipp is electing to X-ray the door, but also electing to head over and probably grab speed as his item of choice.
Yeah, and I doubt anyone's ever timed that out. So it's hard to say again which one is overall faster. But speed just gives you such nice movement.
Yeah, you like to think of ice and speed as making differences in things like the Metroid rooms and the escape, but
Yeah.
those aren't things we're going to be seeing
Nope.
because it's an incomplete category.
Yeah, and of course, chat pointing out that now he's got more options for the Dragon kill. The speed booster will allow him to do the standard speed booster kill instead of having to rely on ammo.
Yeah, and it's not clear that that's going to make enough of a difference on the time between ice and speed here, but it definitely could. It's a very close call, I think.
Okay, Duck doing a nice job on Fantoon so far.
Ultimately, speed versus ice, I think, it's a comfort call. He's got high jump boots, so there's very little drawback to having speed.
Okay, and Fantoon dead again for Duck. And this time I did see him go and get that early missile spot, so we're good there.
Yep. And Kipp is going to take that speed booster back through the Frog Speedway here. And I think we're going to see him go right back to Meridia.
Absolutely. At this point, he's got a very clear path. Just go kill Dragon, get that space jump, and then get down to that metal pirate room as fast as he can.
And it's weird seeing someone headed into Meridia with the 35 Super Square illuminated, but that's because we're on the second Meridia. So Kipp has skipped the GT Supers, as well as the Supers behind Speed Booster in Climb. Yep. And what's the third pack that he skipped?
He hasn't gotten the one in Aqueduct.
Ah, yes.
Because he didn't have the speed booster when he was there the first time. Now, granted, you can snail clip, and that's something that if Kipp hasn't done, he could definitely learn to do that. It's not a very difficult trick, but he doesn't need to. He's got his 35.
Yeah, at this point, loadout is better than a new route any percent run using a super on the blue door. Classic.
Yep, everyone does that too when you go in here a second time, because usually that door is green, and usually you're going in the first time.
Yeah, you don't really plan around going through that room twice.
Yeah, and I see a mention in chat about what we're doing. So this is double anti-bingo, just to reiterate. Basically means each player gives their opponent a row, column, or diagonal that they're forced to do. In this case, Kipp has been forced to do row 5, Duck has been forced to do row 4, and then they get to do one other row, column, or diagonal of their choosing. As we can see, Kipp chose to do the diagonal, bottom left, top right. He's already finished that, and just needs to get a space jump and get to the metal pirate room to finish this.
And Duck is going for the sponge bath bomb jump, gets it nicely. That can be a really tricky thing to get, but does need to watch out here. The Kazans in this room hit very hard with just the power suit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this choice in this context. That's a very, very dangerous room with the power suit. The room the E-Tank is in is still dangerous. You have, the spikes at the bottom, most of them aren't going to do a lot of damage, but you do need to cover that whole room because the title says full clear wreck ship. This jump right here is a very tricky jump. Easier without high jump boost, and since we don't have them yet, is able to get it. But I feel like it just may be a little bit safer just to go ahead and get that gravity suit. Now, on the other hand, Duck knows he's behind because he took that death, so he's maybe just going to go ahead and do this right away. It is a little bit more optimal to do it first if you can do it well.
Yeah, the fish in this room and the spikes hurt. The fish actually hit much harder than the spikes. So you want to try and dodge the fish, and then that one chases you across the bottom, and you're stuck in the water, and it's very slow. But he does get all of the map tiles he needs from this part of the wrecked ship.
Yep. All right, Kipp gets his space jump.
And Duck is taking it a little safe through this room. Then does go for a bounce ball exit there, makes it through. That's the last very dangerous room in this, although with Power Suit, there's still bowling, and also Attic is not a freebie.
Not at all.
And Kipp gets his Wumple Spark there. Nicely done.
And so now that we're in the attic, Duck is going to have to kill everything in here. He'll shoot the door out to the left. He's going to have to go to what I like to call the most annoying room of the game with the worker robots.
It's definitely up there. These key hunters hit for 60 a pop. He is going to want to open that door on the left-hand side.
Duck, he didn't shoot it. He did not shoot it.
Oh, he's going back.
Okay,
he does realize that he does need to go get gravity
I think
suit.
maybe seeing the blinking bottom door, he may have realized, oh wait, I do want to open that other door. No one ever opens the bottom door, so.
Sometimes they open the bottom door and it usually ends badly.
Robots just want to get in your way. Very annoying.
So yeah, Kipp at this point just needs to make it down to the Metal Pirates room. So he's on a pretty clear path. And Duck, Duck, you gotta be careful. Duck, don't do it.
Okay, he's okay. This is fine.
Okay.
There we go. We're good.
Made it through. He does need to get some of this hallway down here. These map tiles here down and to the right. He's not going to be able to get. He's going to have to go get those. Okay, yeah, good. He turned around.
And he's going to have to do some wall jumps to get up the side near the reserve tank to get everything, which isn't too bad. Mm-hmm. You got to watch out for the spikes, of course, but. He's gonna have to do some tricky mid-air morphs.
And Kipp is farming up here just to be sure he's got what he needs for the lower Norfair entrance and what he has to do of it, because he does need to make it through worst room in the game on a weird loadout. He has space jump, but even still, those space pirates can jump back and forth and really hit pretty hard.
Yeah, so. He's just got that pea shooter and a charge beam. That's all he's got for killing them. I mean, he's got a lot of supers, so you could use those, but. And Duck wisely farming here because he can only the spike room into bowling. Those spikes will do 60 damage a pop, and he needs to have at least 121 because you can't do it without taking at least 2 spike hits. Let's see if he farms all the way up to 181 or I guess would be. He's gonna go for the 120. Mm-hmm. Okay. Without high jump boots, this is actually a lot easier to do it. It only take 2 hits than it is to do it with high jump boots. Because you get more horizontal distance on your jumps.
Yeah, it does get a little bit of extra health there, but not enough to take a 3rd hit here. So okay, good. Yep, that'll be good. I always get a little tense when people are taking those jumps pretty late, but he does it well and makes it through to bowling. And so the only thing in the way at this point really is the wall spikes and the worker robots. And he can grab gravity first and
I think that'd be smart.
Make that a little safer. It is an extra 2 door transitions though, so. I mean, he does need to get every little bit of time safe he can. But I think at this point, if he's watching, he's just saying that unless something disastrous happens to Kipp, it's not going to make a huge difference. But no, he's going in on it. And he does get all of his wrecked ship tiles, so Duck has fully explored the wrecked ship.
almost there.
Yeah, he's on his way, and into the metal pirate room, and that'll be it. Kipp has finished.
And GG's to Kipp, finishing up with official race time of 38 minutes and 13 seconds, which is really good.
Yeah, and apathyduck sort of immediately thereafter, knew what was going on and forfeited. Looks like he's continuing to move, but did forfeit the race. But Kipp finished with a 38:13 official time. Good time, and GG to Kipp. And because we have the Kipp cam, we also have the Samus cam.
Yay.
Someone spent 5,000 channel points to give Samus a treat.
Okay. We'll see if we can get these guys in for an interview. I do believe this is the last thing going on SG Live on SG2 at the moment. So let's just take a look at while we're waiting. Let's see what else we have going on. Let's see. It looks like almost about starting right now, we do have some Link to the Past going on. Relkin versus Fear Agent over on SG. And then the next stuff doesn't come back until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Some more Link to the Past at 10:20 and on SG2 and 11:20 on SG on the main SG. And let's see, we do have our runners joining us, Kipp and apathyduck. GG's Kipp, Duck. GG's to you too. Keeping on going. Unfortunate death in the
rookie mistake. I knew as soon as I went down in the map station, I was like, "Oops, I forgot." I'm like, I'll just get on the way back up. How hard can it be? I've never been.
It's not a pleasant room once Grantoon's dead, dude. You only do it once.
Honestly, I got in there and the platform like stopped halfway down. I'm like, why is it still all the way up there? Come all the way down.
It's really bad.
Here's the thing, Doug. I thought you wouldn't forget. I thought maybe you'd muscle memory it from SMZ3, because every time you go into the wrecked ship in SMZ3, you're gonna go there first.
Or all the hundo I've been playing, that other tournament.
Yeah, that's right. The other tournament.
Literally everything I've been doing recently goes in there first, and I've been practicing this too. So I do wreck ship first lot. So
yeah, dab is rough.
I kept skipping the E thing, and also I don't know if this was Kipp's plan, but most of my practice has kind of been anchored around either a Dragon or a Ridley, and Kipp gave me one that had none of that. It just had a bunch of super missiles. Yeah. And honestly, the fact that my row had so many options, that's why I went to that map station the first one, because I'm I don't know what row I'm doing. So I was
did you at any point settle on a row?
Yeah, I ended up settling on row 3. I don't know.
Yeah, we were talking about that one as a decent one. Yeah.
Row 3 or row 2. Row 2 would be great, except I'm really bad at the X-ray. But I needed so many super missiles. The 15 super missiles felt like a couple didn't very good with the 35. I felt with the 35 and the 7, it's I felt like I wasn't skipping a second Brinstar loop. So I kind of was in on that, meaning the 25 power bombs wasn't too bad. The 2 reserve tanks is easy enough with the 15 super missiles, and then it was just would have to make a dip to Kraid. Maybe column 2's better, but the X-ray scope scares me.
Okay, Kipp. Again, GG's to you. Very nice run.
Hey, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
About Batun.
Yeah, so I got a quick thing to say about that. I want to petition the Super Metroid community. We need to put the dash blocks in the Batun hallway.
You skipped Spazer, though.
You didn't get Spazer.
Well, I know, but see, if I would have picked it up. Here's the deal. Hold on. I'm sort of memeing, but at the same time, I'm kind of being serious, because that Meridia would have been a lot more compelling and interesting, I think, both in terms of running and viewing, if I'd actually been able to do it low percent style. But I just totally blanked and got up there. And
everyone has done that.
To be fair, I wouldn't have given you that row if I didn't. I realized, because I was going back between 2 and 5 for you, and I ended up on 5 because it's well, you have to you're gonna do wreck ship first, and then you have to go get ice or speed. Right? I guess ice probably. And then you have to go up to Dragon, and you gotta come back to. I was like, there's so much back and forth that seemed better than 2.
Well, he gets speed. We were discussing which one of those would be better. We're not sure. I don't know that anybody's planned it out.
I mean, speed makes you faster, but it's way further away.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That was the idea. I see Kipp talking there, and I'm not hearing him now, so I'm not sure if that's just out of sync or.
Oh no, I'm still here.
Okay. But yeah. So when you had to decide between speed and ice, what was the thought process there?
Man, how honest do you want me to be? I knew apathyduck had died because he typed something in the chat, and I wouldn't have known that if he hadn't typed anything. Because I'm telling you guys, I cannot. First of all, I have a hard enough time reading the card. It's like information overload. And so I don't ever watch my opponent during dabs. Like I always just run my run. And then when I'm done, and I just hope for the best. But he mentioned that he had died. And then I like went and checked the restream and saw that he was back, near the beginning. And so I was like, well, I don't even really have to make a decision here. So I'll just go ahead and do high jump boot and speed booster. And then I'll have like an easier Dragon and an easier lower North air. But I've never timed it out. I have no idea which one is faster.
Because on the one hand, ice is quicker to pick up, but on the other hand, speed gets you more, speed.
I mean, like, you get the shine up through Mount Everest, and then you don't have to do the ice clip, but it's like, it's so many more rooms. I gotta think ice is faster. But, yeah.
Yeah, probably so.
It's
especially
close.
Having all those supers.
So Kipp did have to kill Dragon though, so it depends on what sort of Dragon you have. But yeah, like you were saying, Kipp, all those supers, we were talking about it quite a bit, and it's kind of tough. It's a very close call.
Yeah, and look, man, normally I'm pretty relaxed during a lot of these races. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I was feeling myself after that X-ray execution because I don't really practice that much, and like I'm telling y'all straight up, like 90% of the time I miss the last D boost, and then I have to bomb jump up. That's the whole reason I went and got the Wavegate energy tank. And so I was feeling real hot, and then I was like, oh man, chat's gonna think this is rad. I'm doing this low percent Meridia, like this is a really interesting run. And then, as always, Super Metroid just like, uppercuts you to the face. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you could have Crystal Flash Clip, but I don't think that's in your repertoire in general. So
right, no,
we
that's
weren't
for sure.
expected to see that. So.
Yeah. So anyway, I had a 2-round fast mid Fantoon, and I felt like I was playing really good, to be honest with you. Like I felt totally in control the entire time until I got to Botwin the hallway, and I was just like, oh my god, like I look like the biggest idiot. So anyway,
this makes the webcams great on this setup because we could see the look in your face when that happened.
I'm sure I provided a lot of good ones too, especially in the moat. Good lord, moat.
Oh, moat.
The second
moat was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, second time was fine.
There's no pressure anymore. Just like, yeah, I had it was like a 4 or 5 try moat the first time. It was just terrible. Like, it's so easy. It's like moat and Fantoon. It's like when I'm practicing, the bomb jump is free, 2-round Fantoons are free, and then you get in a run, and it's like, oh, I'm in like an 8-round Fantoon all of a sudden. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of things that can get out of control in Super Metroid. The difference between a really, really good run and one that's like below average is actually pretty thin in a lot of cases. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So one thing that because I'm bad at sort of new route style Fantoon, I'm always grabbing the Brinstar Reserve in Dab if I'm going up Red Tower. Is that something that you were doing as well, Duck? Or were you planning to use the 2 reserve tanks square?
Yeah, it was 2 reserve. It was 2, like I said, column 2 or row 3, and both had the 2 reserve. So yeah, I mean I run new route now, so yeah, the Fantoon is no problem. It's hilarious when I do 100% now, and I'm in there with like 60 energy with Varia. I'm like, this is free. Like, this is a billion health.
Yeah, 60 energy in Varia is
It's not
super
bad.
cozy because all of your health, all the health drops are like worth like 5 times as much as they
Yeah,
should be.
exactly.
Well, I mean, like 60 health is equivalent to like 120 in new route. So like, it's just
Mhm.
so in Hundo, I'm going in there with like no health, and it's like whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything in any video game I've ever practiced more than Fantoon, to be honest.
Yeah, that's I could see.
I think that's true of a lot of Super Metroid players,
Yeah,
honestly.
I always talk about it, like Fantoon is that choke point. And when I've mentioned this recently, when I first started watching speedruns, mostly YouTube videos at the time, it seemed like everyone you would go to the beginning of the video and it would be a little bit of Fantoon and a reset, or a little bit of Fantoon and a death, and then the PB that they just got would come next. So yeah, it's a definite point of whether it be because it's just bad RNG, or whether it's just because you just did it badly, or because you died. It's just that's such a reset point.
I have in just new route runs. I have so much variance in the gravity suit split, and it's just like those 2 rooms, and that's it. Like, it's 90% of the variance, and the variance is like over a minute, and it's only at like the 14-minute mark. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Kipp, you're moving on. Duck, I know you're in other tournaments. I believe in the SMZ3. Did you do any of the other ones beyond that? I'm trying to remember.
Well, speaking of new route, I did try to join the 80%, but the first qualifier I died on Mother Brain, and then the second qualifier, because it was right in the middle of the Hundo tournament, I autopilot down to Kraid, and then so I was like, well, I guess I'm doing old route, and then I died on Ridley. So
oh, no.
Oh man!
In the 80% tournament, which honestly is that thing is stacked. Like,
it really is.
I have a 45 and 80% now, and I'd have been in the lower half of the bracket. Just like, I'd probably been playing Kipp, and you've been destroying me in that too. So
Yeah, I wasn't going close to any percent.
No, me neither.
I thought about dab, but I had to pick 2.
yeah, I mean, and honestly, good with all the other stuff I got going on now. Like, honestly, a blessing in disguise that I didn't have, because my plan was do the Hundo tournament. Like, okay, then I'll de-rust 80% for a while, and like, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to, because like I kept pushing Hundo for a little bit, and then like I got some other stuff coming up, so it gave me breathing space to not worry about it too much.
Well, I want to close my portion of this interview with something real quick, and you guys are going to have to look at the camera to get the full thing here. I'm in all 3 of the Super Metroid tournaments. And
you've got your hands in all 3, not just playing, but helping me organize it. The 2 of us together.
Yes,
we've put a lot of work into it.
And I'm about to go absolutely crazy. So anyway, last year I went to SG Live. There were only a few Super Metroid players there. We had a really good time together, but obviously this year I was hoping we would have more people. And then as it turns out, we ended up having it online. So it was like, I really wish we could have all gotten together, but at the same time, it's great that we have more competition. But anyway, what I have on camera right now is my trophy from the first place Super Metroid Dab Tournament, SpeedGaming Live 2019. Okay. So until someone beats me, I am undefeated in all Dab tournament matches. Okay. And I have it on good authority from Fiesel himself that he's going to send me a trophy. If I win, he's going to send me a trophy in the mail that's 3 times as big as this one. So,
wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Fiesel never said that. So anyway, I just want to make sure nobody thinks I'm being serious. So anyway, I'm having a good time. Dab is a lot of fun, but I'm telling y'all, like, I feel comfortable with it, but it only takes the tiniest of error or misread of the card to put yourself at a massive disadvantage. And so honestly, like, I really believe that this tournament is up for grabs from anybody. It's just the day and the time and the place. So I'm going to keep doing the best I can, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. And also, we've still got you in the 80% and the I think you've got a matchup with Lynx coming up. That should be a good one.
Yeah, I got Lynx. Clearly, I'm going to win. And then I got Cutie. Clearly, I'm going to win. And then after that, Zost. I mean, like, easy trio of players.
Beaten Zost once before. Now, granted, he died at Ridley, if I remember, in that one tournament.
Okay, I've beaten Zost in an 80% race, yes. Last time Lynx and I raced 80% was in the 80% tournament 2 years ago, and I won. And then I've never raced Cutie in any percent, like in a tournament match, but we did play each other in the multi-category tournament playoffs, and I won. So clearly, I think I should be favored against all three of these guys.
Sure.
So yeah.
But Rando, I mean, the Rando tournament, you're in that too, and that I think you have a real good shot at too. So
Yeah, we'll see. Nebdi messaged me during this race actually, so I got to see what he said, and we'll try to get that scheduled. It'll be fun. I mean, honestly, Rando could go either way too. One thing I see on the potential matchup is depending on how things shake out, there is a possibility for me to play Maniacal, I think, like in the next round, but I think both of us would have to win, and we both have hard matchups. But all I can say is I hope that doesn't happen, because every time Maniacal and I race, he beats me so bad in Rando. So I'm going to try to dodge Maniacal as much as I can.
I'm
I'd
just
like to respond.
The floor is yours, Duck.
yeah, go for it.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Kipp on beating the other undefeated dab player in this tournament. My hotly contested 1-0 record is now gone. Should have retired undefeated. And as far as that matchup with Cutie, there's no way you're getting through both members of Team Corndog, so I'm sure I'll be avenged. But I mean, like on a serious note, like I've only been playing with SM for like a year and a half now, and like Kipp was one of the guys I looked up to this entire time. So it was just a complete honor to be racing him in like top 8 in this tournament. I didn't have any Danes on winning this one or anything. So it's just cool seeing someone like, I remember Kipp telling me like, I was like, after Morph Ball, like I was going up through the top instead of shooting the bottom. Like when I first was learning, and I saw him like, wait a minute, that's faster. He's like, yeah, that's way faster. What are you doing? So I like to think I've come a little way since then. I mean, I did go into spooky missiles with the ship on, so maybe not. But yeah, just an honor and privilege to be playing Kipp. So GG's to you.
Yeah, man. Likewise, and
keep your
I always enjoy hanging out and chatting with you, and we give each other, crap. But that's what you do when you like people. So definitely appreciate you being in the tournaments, and you've come a long way, and obviously you got your link to the past stuff going on too. So I wish you very well in all the rest of the tournaments. And I've got a puppy over here who's begging to go outside, so I'm gonna wrap that up. Thank you to Tracy and Maniacal for doing commentary, and everybody a part of the restreams. Everybody who's proctoring, like I literally, we're only like 2 days in, and there's a million people we could thank. There's just so many people working really hard on this. An event like this is very difficult to put on. So there's a lot of people working hard. I just want to say that I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to continuing until I get knocked out of these things.
Yeah. And of course, we just a reminder to follow these runners, and also want to give another. You see the links on the screen, and of course wanted to give a big shout out to our trackers, because tracking is hard in this, and we had Glove and Linkforce doing the tracking for us, doing a very nice job, and but definitely big thank you to them. And of course, like Kipp said, all of the people behind the scenes of SpeedGaming, so much work going in. It's just been a wonderful tournament and event so far, and just we got more to come for another week of all this, so looking forward to all of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting and exciting week, especially as these tournaments start to get really pared down. So we'll have a lower density of matches, but a higher quality of matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, this was a great match. That's why this one was featured, Duck, is it was one of the good ones, all right?
Yeah.
All right?
Still here. But yeah, everything you guys said. I mean, I never played Dab before, and I was like, oh wait, the only way to learn this is by joining tournaments, so I joined this one. So it's been really fun. So thanks, guys.
You're welcome, Doug.
GG, and good luck in the rest of your tournaments.
Yeah, good luck in your SMZ3, and if there's anything else, yeah, good luck going forward.
Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, so yeah, that's going to do it for us, and that's going to do it for SG2 tonight. But go ahead and tune over to the main SpeedGaming channel. Like we said, there is a Link to the Past tournament going on, Fear Agent versus Relkin, and I think I'm going to head over there myself, so I hope to see you all there.
Yep, that'll do it for us here. So thank you, Tracy, as well, for letting me join you on commentary, and GG's to both of our runners. Like we said, good luck to Duck in the rest of his races. Good luck to Kipp in his matches in all the SM tournaments, especially versus Nevdi, who's also awesome in the rando. I'm hoping that if I can get a couple wins in the randomizer, that Kipp and I will get to battle. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, that'll do for us here. Have a great night, everyone. Enjoy all the rest of the races and all the great content from SG Live all week.